nice thing to start on.
I've got a guitar, but my brother bought me one for Christmas, but it's a left-handed one. It's strung for a left-handed guitarist.
And are you right-handed?
I'm right-handed.
That's not going to help matters, is it?
I keep picking it up. I used to live with my mate in when we squatted in London. There was a buddy who was a left-handed guitarist. And he used to just turn it upside down. He was really good though. He used to be really into Hendrix.
Yeah.
So he just sat there doing all this Jimi Hendrix shit every day. He ended up in a quite well-known band. He had a really good Hunted Child,
nice
they call it. Hunted,
It's really odd. Because it's just like a guitar except it's an old. Yeah, that's it.
But you seem to be playing it alright though.
Your hands go, I know what to do, but then it's also tiny.
Is that what it is? Because of the scale of it that's the problem, or?
Kind of. But then again, if it was a normal guitar, that's just like the top end of the neck, but it's narrower as well than a normal neck. It's worked out really well for my mate Andrea because she's got literally tiny hands.
Right.
And she was getting really pissed off. She does a thing, she's a singer, and she does a thing where a mate plays the guitar, but she can't play it. But that's who I gave my other one of those to.
Right.
Because like...
Are they expensive then?
Nah, they're about 70 quid. Something like that. That was 69 quid. I got that in Leeds.
Right.
To replace all the other ones. I think I've given 4 of them away.
What the hell, man?
I'm a dickhead like that. I get stuff and I think, oh, that person needs that.
Yeah, but it's nice.
Give it them.
If you don't need it.
Then I wake up the next day and go,
what have I done?
yeah. But that sounds nice. That's like classical. It's really odd, you know, because it's with a cool little travel guitar. You know, if you were just mooching about. But
Sat in a train station waiting for a train to turn up or something.
It's quite annoying, I have to tell you, because I'm now thinking about getting one.
This is what happened to
If
me.
you're skint and you need some money, you can busk outside a train station.
But that's what basically when I first had a go on one, I was like, get out of town for it. It's going to be shitty plastic like a ukulele. But it's like you can actually just play it. We should get used to it being tiny.
Sure.
You wouldn't play that at a gig though, would you? You wouldn't use that at a gig though, would you?
I don't know. You could try, but I think with it not plugging in.
Would you just get it? Would you get
If it was a pure acoustic gig and everyone was sat listening, which people do sometimes, or like they do in Ireland, everyone shuts up and some starts singing. If they did that, you could get away with it.
Right. If you just put a microphone near it or something.
You could mic it, you could mic it.
As long as you don't put it at the right angle.
Miking things tends to be a bit shady though. Quite often it gives you a bit of a bad sound on stage because they're turning the mic up, but then it's kind of close to feeding back. And say you move or something, just naturally
Well, you naturally move, I think, if you're playing a gig, don't you? Well, I don't know, if you sat down maybe.
But like,
you don't sit down though, do you?
You could do a gig with it. I wouldn't see massively why not, but you wouldn't get away with anyone hearing it. Unless if you could plug it in but like...
Well, you'd have to have 2 mics then, wouldn't you?
Miking up a guitar's a ball ache normally. It never usually sounds that nice.
Right.
Because it tends to pick up all the other noise around it. It tends to be
So drowns it out?
Also they use vocal mics, which
they're not really meant for it. They just use an SM58 normally, don't they? And it's like, they're meant for a completely different source of noise.
And also different dynamics.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really...
I've actually started doing gigs on electric guitars. I do solo gigs with an electroacoustic.
Okay.
I've done that for years.
Right.
And then I've started just using a Telecaster and a tiny amp. Because when you always go to a gig, you're always relying, if you've got an electroacoustic, you're relying on the guy doing the sound to get it right for you in the monitors. But with the best will in the world, he's often at the back of the room. He can't really hear you on monitors. He can ask you if it's okay by signals, he can ask you to turn it up or down. But quite often it sounds fucking horrible. So your own guitar sounds shit, which knocks your confidence from the minute one. And then, as I make my words up as I go along a lot as well, it's like if one thing works alright and you can put that to bed, like so what I did with the electric guitar, it's like I can just hear it. And it's going to be how I want it to sound. Nobody's going to have altered it. And it did save my life last weekend in a gig in Manchester. I turned up. So it's a ball ache carrying the amp. And I can't drive, so I've only done a few gigs where I've took it on.
So the idea is with the amp you've got control over the sound.
Is you've got your own guitar monitored. You can hear your guitar how you want to hear it. Your vocals, you're still relying on them to sort out your monitors. depends on the size of the place, but the place I played in Manchester, they fucking had no money when I got there, so it's a really good job that I chose on that gig to take an electric guitar. Because otherwise I'd be there with an electroacoustic, not hearing it. And when you can't hear yourself, you overplay, you break strings, you're just a stressor. You don't tend to sing that well because you're not chilled. If you can just hear yourself fine, you can do it nice and you can do.
Must be quite unnerving, actually.
Stories and get your thing done. But
the trouble is with the best will in the world, a lot of the guys that run, at least in my experience, the ones that run the shows are not really that expert. Especially with like you've got a variety of performance, it's a lot of effort required on their part to work out what works for you. So they just sort of do whatever they can.
If there's loads of bands on as well, you've got to do it for everybody, haven't you? That could got potentially a nightmare scenarios to it. They usually do it for the headlining band, don't they? And then everybody else has to kind of. So the sound's right for the headlining band. You've just got to make do.
yeah.
Nice. Do they do? Do you know if they do one with steel strings? Is it always nylon string?
I think these. I've not seen a Yamaha do one with steel strings, but I think some companies might make a steel string one. But it's just like
The steely string band.
when you're a bit like. What I find this is really good for is even if you're feeling really shit, I'm coming around now, but I've been poorly for a bit. When I was at home poorly, even if I felt like dog shit, it's so tiny. It's just not, you can just pick it up and you can twindle away. It's not a big ball ache getting it out, tuning it up, plugging it in. I don't know, it's just an instant little sound.
Yeah, they're lovely. It's very playable. It's not.
70 quid a lot of money for the guitar.
No, I mean that's
Not for something that sounds nice.
Right.
Even a sort of entry level, you know, like a normal size guitar. A normal classical might be about 120, a half-ish, decent-ish one, a normal Steeler. But they won't sound that great.
Right.
Sometimes they're physically hard to play, so if you're a beginner, and what tends to happen when you're a beginner, you get a cheap guitar, because obviously you ain't going to buy a fucking...
Well, yeah, if you crap.
With all you know if you can even play, but then that in itself sometimes holds you back, because say the strings are really hard to press down on some cheaper guitars like this.
That's my problem, I think. But the thing is,
You might just need the right
the
guitar. Have you ever tried playing a bass?
no. Well, no, but I've done twing the strings
But
a
like
bit.
a bass, I found a lot easier than guitar, because the thing with guitar when you're starting from scratch, to an extent you've got to learn the chord shapes where you're holding your whole fucking. He's still filming all this, Johna. Oh no, I thought we were just.
Put it on YouTube. Musical masterclass.
I thought we were just chatting shite. He's
Yeah.
still filming it.
You never know what you're going to say. It could be like, I've just fucked it up
But
now, so I've
learning
just
from-
done all that.
Learning from scratch start, I
I'll
think
turn it off.
bass